Internet of Things is a term that was coined in the early 80s, but I'm not entirely sure anyone can fully define what it means even now. We talked to two Cisco-invested companies that have moved way beyond the terminology and are putting it into practice in their day-to-day business. Let's go and find out some more. It's my great pleasure to bring in Julia from Zillion Source and Simon from Everything. Guys, we've got a big topic to talk about today, the Internet of Things. I've been walking around the event trying to discover a lot more really about what the Internet of Things means in 2017. And I'm very glad I've got two, let's say, absolute experts who are really at the heart of things around Internet of Things. Perhaps just to start us off, Julia, if you could just give us a bit of a summary about what it is that Zillion Source does.
Okay, so my name is Julia. I'm a solution director for Zillion Source for Americas region. Zillion Source is a Cisco Invest IoT startup. We provide real-time cargo and container monitoring around the globe. Our customer including logistics companies, corporate supply chains, and manufacturer and farmer and retailers.
And Simon, what about yourselves?
So Everything is an IoT smart products platform. So think of us as the IoT engine for product data, product intelligence, applications around products, and connecting products to the web. We use an active digital identity that follows the life cycle of the product. That allows that data to proliferate and create value, the network effect of applications and value that can be created from that data is immensely powerful for consumer brands.
Simon, from your point of view, what does the Internet of Things mean to you, and especially within the context of the company?
That's a really interesting question. I mean, the IoT, the Internet of Things, it means many things to many people. You know, and a lot of what we hear is it's about connecting devices to other devices, machines to machines. And we take the view that actually the web of things is a better descriptor of what we're all about, which is really using the web as the natural platform for scale. So what we're about is, you know, taking things, products, connected by any means, any IoT protocol, technology, whatever you like, and connecting then those things to the web so that its value can then be realized through data that you can create an application from the web very, very easily. And it means that data is then available to everybody in the ecosystem. So the consumer, the brand, the retailer, and frankly, products then become ecosystems with other products.
And Julia, from the Zillion Source's point of view, I mean, give me a sort of definition of IoT.
I mean, in the past decade, our world has become fully connected, right? So how the information flow, how the business can drive the maximum insight and drive efficiency out of the information is become critical, right? So for supply chain, in the past, it's a lot of data island, right? For operation, for people in the field, the operation is isolated in the field, right? And management, they don't have such insight and data to help them make right and accurate in-time decisions. So what we do is supply chain, in supply chain, we see the opportunities, right? So in the past, management don't know where their goods, where about their shipment, they don't know their conditions, they don't know if their equipment get there in time or damaged. Now we offer this full visibility in front of the customer. Not only they know where their goods, they also know exactly their conditions. So they can take active measurement ahead of the business cycles, right?
I was just going to ask, I mean, give me an example of who your customers are. Who is delving into this?
So, for example, we serve American, the cosmetic company in China. So in the past, they have a challenge, right? They have a goods loss, they don't wear condition, and a lot of our products were temperature sensitive. The temperature high and low could affect the quality. So we work with American in China, and now they ship the goods from Asia to Europe. So our solution helps them not only provide the visibilities, right, and also really put the peace of mind into management's hands. I think they found this very, very valuable.
Do Do you think that the sort of world understands the need for the kind of things that you do, or are we still at such an early stage where you're kind of opening those doors?
Yeah, I think just the supply chain. For example, RFID was a technology was invested 50 years ago. People didn't really realize the full potential until recently, right? Now we see RFID everywhere. I think it's the same with the IoT. Is people realize it. Lots of more and more business catching up or leverage on IoT technology, but there's still lots of companies, particularly small business owners, they see the potentials, but they don't have the expertise and money to spend on IoT technology. So drive down the cost, drive up efficiency, I think still, quite a few years to go.
I think about what everything does, and to me, I mean, it's turning sort of dumb products into an IoT an opportunity. I mean, that seems like something which is very exciting. But from your point of view, who are your customers, and do they know that it's a challenge out there that they've got?
I think they do. I mean, what's really interesting, we have a very clear mission, which is to take or to make a trillion products, digital smart products. And our customers are, sort of across a fairly tight spectrum, but on the consumer product side, companies like Moet Hennessy, for example, would use our platform or do use our platform to give them visibility right the way across their supply chain throughout the product life cycle. So from the moment the product is created in production through to the point where it's consumed, perhaps by me as an end consumer, they've got visibility to that product throughout that chain. Companies like Coca-Cola, for example, use the platform to serve up digital experiences, and they're using their product as a digital media channel. And so in their world, it's much more about brand exposure and about acquiring new customers. And then, organisations like Avery Dennison, who is, a very key partner of ours, they and us have put together this concept of Born Digital. So we work with Avery Dennison, who produce the smart labels which get stitched into many apparel items of their customers. And this whole idea that the originating identifier is born digital. It's created at the point where the garment is created is already starting to see traction with a commitment to 10 billion items of clothing.
So there were challenges that your customers faced that perhaps there wasn't really a way of solving before. And would it be fair to say that in your customers' mind, they don't think of it as IoT necessarily, they just think of it as that there's a gap in their business and they're looking for a solution? Or are they coming to you with a kind of IoT mindset on?
I think it's a bit of both. I think for a lot of the customers we're working with, they have an understanding of IoT. They have an agenda that they want to innovate and they want to see what IoT means to their business, but they haven't really thought through what the digital possibilities are. For others, we're helping, we're advising, and we're identifying gaps that they could use IoT and platform like everything to fix. So for many, it's things like hidden retail. The challenge of, when they've shipped products, they really don't know where they are. So actually the ability to have visibility into that and line of sight to products, wherever those products are, is immensely powerful.
You talked about innovation there, and I think that's very interesting because, of course, some brands, innovation is at the heart of what they do, and they put money towards it. But Julia, I always found it very interesting. You talked about cost, and of course, within the supply chain, it's fundamentally often about that they recognise the want or the need for new solutions, but unless they're at a cost point that's going to be achievable, then it's going to sit on the shelf. Is cost fundamental to the kind of businesses you're talking about, or is there some other driving forces?
I think the cost is probably the factor on the surface. It really is the productivity and efficiency underneath. And I think I noticed there are quite an interesting shift. In the past 10 years, there are a lot of fighting between IT guys and the business people, right? So IT guys determine what the technology should buy, and the business people are always unhappy because we have perfect process. Why you have the new technology? But nowadays, as it's different, right? Business people, they have this mindset that we want the digital transformation help us, right? But they don't really know what that means. But they do have a requirement. So a lot of times they come to us, say, hey, we have this problem, right? Help us solve it. I think that's really value driven in the business people mind. They want they see the problem and they want to drive efficient out the process. I think that in all the technology or process didn't really promote such efficiency in the current process system.
How has having Cisco investments part of your business kind of helped you overcome some of the go-to-market challenges and perhaps wider things that every business should be considering?
I mean, Cisco offers us a great platform, right? As a startup, you have a lot of challenge. Number one is funding. Number two is a platform, right? A lot of people don't know who we are, so we had to explain a lot of times what we do, why we can help you save money. But with the Cisco help, right, we kind of increase our brand awareness. People trust Cisco, they kind of trust us too. The third is like convention like this, CiscoLive, right? They offer us a platform where you can really showcase what we can do for customers. I think that's also help us to potential customer acquisition cost. So I think it's a really great platform for us.
So very practical things. I've been talking to a number of people, and the conversation always goes around, with investment, it's never just about the money. There's always that partnership and what comes additionally. Simon, from your point of view, I mean, what benefits of Cisco investments added to the business?
I think the most valuable element is the network effect of being part of this broader ecosystem. Even at this event, the number of new Cisco people that we've met this week that understand now what we do and are introducing us to ongoing challenges that they're trying to solve with their customers, who may also happen to be our customers or maybe net new. I think it's that really powerful ability to connect with a lot of the innovation work that Cisco's doing, but also to meet other companies that we might be working with in the future, where there is this, the joy of the IoT is that it's about ecosystems, and actually there's a huge amount of value in creating more and more partner ecosystems, and events like this are really useful for that.
It's a really good point. I mean, often within startups, you can be very focused on the business itself, and actually getting out and looking at the wider world can be tricky. You need to, but taking that data is very distinct. I like your mention of ecosystems. It works both in a kind of online sense, but also the very sort of physical sense of an event like CiscoLive.
And frankly, it's a bandwidth thing, right? When you're focused in and out, in your daily business about generating revenue and finding and working with your own customers, it's very difficult to sort of step back and have access to the breadth of partners and potential integrators that you need to meet to expand.
I've been walking around the various stands, especially the Cisco investment stand, and really seeing quite a lot of that go on. If ever anyone's got a kind of a quiet moment, they're often meeting other companies, part of the Cisco investments network, which might not have met before, and hopefully kind of learning and sharing that. To sort of bring it to a conclusion, because that's really helped me look beyond sort of the nomenclature of IoT and look practically at some of the exciting things that are going on. If I can ask you to sort of cast your mind over the next few years, what do you see as developments in IoT that are going to really impact your business?
I think the information will become more transparent, and more small players will be come into the battlefield. And then people will be, with also new technology coming, right? AI and augmented reality. I think automation and together with IoT are going to really make big impact in our everyday life and everyday business operation.
And Simon, from your point of view?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the evolution of these technologies, machine learning and AI and so on, and blockchain will inevitably find a key role within the IoT space. I think what's going to be interesting is, we're not called everything by accident. We have a vision that all products that can be digitized and connected to the web will be. And I think in the next 5 years, we're going to see a lot more of that happen. And frankly, I think we're going to be at the heart of it.
Well, that's incredibly exciting to hear. I look forward to coming back over the next few years and seeing both your various companies progress towards it. Simon, Julia, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Cheers.